The purpose of our lives is to be happy. Dalai Lama. Life is what happens when you are busy making other plans. John Lennon. Get busy living or get busy dying. Stephen King. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Mae West. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Thomas A. Edison. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Albert Einstein. Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. Babe Ruth. Money and success don't change people, they merely amplify what is already there. Will Smith. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Steve Jobs. Not how long, but how well you have lived is the main thing. Seneca. If life were predictable, it would cease to be life and be without flavor. Eleanor Roosevelt. The whole secret of a successful life is to find out what is one's destiny to do and then do it. Henry Ford. In order to write about life, first you must live it. Ernest Hemingway. The big lesson in life, baby, is never be scared of anyone or anything. Frank Sinatra. Curiosity about life in all of its aspects, I think, is still the secret of great creative people. Leo Burnett. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. Soren Kierkegaard. The unexamined life is not worth living. Socrates. Turn your wounds into wisdom. Oprah Winfrey. When we do the best we can, we never know what miracle is wrought in our life or the life of another. Helen Keller. The healthiest response to life is joy. Deepak Chopra. Life is like a coin. You can spend it any way you wish, but you only spend it once. Lillian Dixon. The best portion of a good man's life is his little nameless, unencumbered acts of kindness and of love. Wordsworth. In 3 words I can sum up everything I have learned about life, it goes on. Robert Frost. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. Charles Swindoll. Keep calm and carry on. Winston Churchill. Maybe that's what life is, a wink of the eye and winking stars. Jack Kerouac. Life is a flower of which love is the honey. Victor Hugo. Keep smiling, because life is a beautiful thing and there is so much to smile about. Marilyn Monroe. Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship. Buddha. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. Dr. C.S. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience, this is the ideal life. Mark Twain. Life would be tragic if it weren't funny. Stephen Hawking. Live in the sunshine, swim the sea, drink the wild air. Ralph Waldo Emerson. The greatest pleasure of life is love. Euripides. Life is what we make it, always has been, always will be. Grandma Moses. Life's tragedy is that we get old too soon and wise too late. Benjamin Franklin. Life is about making an impact, not making an income. Kevin Kruge. I believe every human has a finite number of heartbeats. I don't intend to waste any of mine. Neil Armstrong. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Mahatma Gandhi. If you live long enough, you'll make mistakes. But if you learn from them, you'll be a better person. Bill Clinton. Life is short, and it is here to be lived. Kate Winslet. The longer I live, the more beautiful life becomes. Frank Lloyd Wright. Every moment is a fresh beginning. T.S. Eliot. When you cease to dream, you cease to live. Malcolm Forbes. If you spend your whole life waiting for the storm, you'll never enjoy the sunshine. Morris West. Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Dr. C.S. If you can do what you do best and be happy, you are further along in life than most people. Leonardo DiCaprio. We should remember that just as a positive outlook on life can promote good health, so can everyday acts of kindness. Hillary Clinton. Don't limit yourself. Many people limit themselves to what they think they can do. You can go as far as your mind lets you. What you believe, remember, you can achieve. Mary Kay Ash. It is our choices that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities. J. K. Rowling. Be happy for this moment. This moment is your life. Omar Khayyam. Happiness is the feeling that power increases, that resistance is being overcome. Friedrich Nietzsche. I have learned to seek my happiness by limiting my desires, rather than in attempting to satisfy them. John Stuart Mill. The secret of happiness, you see, is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less. Socrates. The more man meditates upon good thoughts, the better will be his world and the world at large. Confucius. The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not. Seneca. Happiness is like a butterfly, the more you chase it, the more it will elude you, but if you turn your attention to other things, it will come and sit softly on your shoulder. Henry David Thoreau. When it is obvious that goals can't be reached, don't adjust the goals, but adjust the action steps. Confucius. There may be people who have more talent than you, but there is no excuse for anyone to work harder than you do, and I believe that. Derek Jeter. Be nice to people on the way up, because you may meet them on the way down. Jimmy Durante. I believe you make your day. You make your life. So much of it is all perception, and this is the form that I built for myself. I have to accept it and work within those compounds, and it's up to me. Brad Pitt. The minute that you are not learning, I believe you are dead. Jack Nicholson. Life's tough, but it's tougher when you're stupid. John Wayne. Take up one idea. Make that one idea your life, think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Let the brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea, and just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success. Swami Vivekananda. I guess it comes down to a simple choice, really. Get busy living or get busy dying. Shashank Redemption. When we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. Paulo Coelho. There are 3 things you can do with your life. You can waste it, you can spend it, or you can invest it. The best use of your life is to invest it in something that will last long. Instead of letting your hardships and failures discourage or exhaust you, let them inspire you. Let them make you even hungrier to succeed. Michelle Obama. No matter how hard you work, someone else is working harder. Elon Musk. A dream doesn't become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work. Colin Powell. I have had lots of luck in my career, but there has also been a lot of hard work. Maria Sharapova. It's kind of fun to do the impossible. Walt Disney. If you love your work, you'll be out there every day trying to do it the best you possibly can, and pretty soon everybody around will catch the passion from you like a fever. Sam Walton. From my dad I learned to be good to people, to always be honest and straightforward. I learned hard work and perseverance. Luke Bryan. Believe you can and you are halfway there. Theodore Roosevelt. It always seems impossible until it's done. Nelson Mandela. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. Steve Jobs. Quality is much better than quantity. One home run is much better than two doubles. Steve Jobs. Always aim high, work hard, and care deeply about what you believe in. And when you stumble, keep faith. And when you are knocked down, get right back up and never listen to anyone who says you can't or shouldn't go on. Hillary Clinton. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. This approach has never let me down. Steve Jobs. Hard work spotlights the character of people. Some turn up their sleeves, some turn up their noses, and some don't turn up at all. Sam Ewing. If you live long enough, you'll make mistakes. But if you learn from them, you'll be a better person. It's how you handle adversity, not how it affects you. The main thing is never quit, never quit, never quit. Bill Clinton. To succeed, work hard, never give up, and above all, cherish a magnificent obsession. Walt Disney. If you give people tools, and they use their natural abilities and their curiosity, they will develop things in ways that will surprise you very much beyond what you might have expected. Bill Gates. It's fine to celebrate success, but it is more important to heed the lessons of failure. Bill Gates. I'm a greater believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have of it. Thomas Jefferson. Perseverance is the hard work you do after you get tired of doing the hard work you already did. Newt Gingrich. I know you have heard it 1,000 times before. But it's true, hard work pays off. If you want to be good, you have to practice, practice, practice. If you don't love something, then don't do it. Ray Bradbury. I know the price of success, dedication, hard work, and an unremitting devotion to the things you want to see happen. Frank Lloyd Wright. Talent is cheaper than table salt. What separates the talented individual from the successful one is a lot of hard work. Stephen King. Success is walking from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Winston Churchill. It's hard to beat a person who never gives up. Babe Ruth. The future rewards those who press on. I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. I don't have time to complain. I'm going to press on. Barack Obama. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we have been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. Barack Obama. The reason a lot of people do not recognize opportunity is because it usually goes around wearing overalls looking like hard work. Thomas A. Edison. The price of success is hard work, dedication to the job at hand, and the determination that whether we win or lose, we have applied the best of ourselves to the task at hand. Vince Lombardi. I do not know anyone who has got to the top without hard work. That is the recipe. It will not always get you to the top, but it should get you pretty near. Margaret Thatcher. Nothing ever comes to one that is worth having, except as a result of hard work. Booker T. Washington. When I was young, I observed that 9 out of 10 things I did were failures. So I did 10 times more work. George Bernard Shaw. Opportunities are usually disguised as hard work, so most people don't recognize them. Ann Landers. For every 2 minutes of glamour, there are 8 hours of hard work. Jessica Savage. Without hard work, nothing grows but weeds. Gordon B. Hinckley. I have got a theory that if you give 100% all of the time, somehow things will work out in the end. Larry Bird. What you do today can improve all your tomorrows. Ralph Marston. There is no greater gift you can give or receive than to honor your calling. It's why you were born. And how you become most truly alive. Oprah Winfrey. You have to be unique and different and shine in your own way. Lady Gaga. We can't save the world by playing by the rules, because the rules have to be changed. Greta Thunberg. When you are not permitted to collaborate, lead, stretch your wings, and utilize your talents, you may very well find your own defining moment by forging your own path forward, chasing after what scares you and taking what's yours. Liz Elting. Your story is what you have, what you will always have. It is something to own. Michelle Obama. Only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. Robert F. Kennedy. The world needs that special gift that only you have. Marie Forleo. Take life by its throat, do something. Stop being $at scared. Gary Vaynerchuk. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Joe Louis. Think about it, what's the worst thing that can happen to you if you just totally go for it? Grant Cardone. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Suzy Kassin. Don't go through life, grow through life. Eric Butterworth. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. Walt Disney. Life has no limitations except the ones you make. Les Brown. You glow differently when you are doing better. Elena Cardon. Happiness is not by chance, but by choice. Jim Rohn. You are confined only by the walls you build yourself. Andrew Murphy. I'm looking forward to continuing to learn from my past, living in the present, and surrendering to the future. Beyoncé. Just around the bend, a miracle is waiting to happen. Release fear and uncertainty, and majestic wonders wait to unfold for you. Denise Lin. The future rewards those who press on. I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. I don't have time to complain. I'm the one that's got to die when it's time for me to die, so let me live my life the way I want to. Jimi Hendrix. Those who realize their folly are not true fools. Juyangji. To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist, that is all. Oscar Wilde. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you have imagined. Henry David Thoreau. 'Tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Saint Augustine. The mind is everything. What you think you become. Buddha. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Lao Tzu. The unexamined life is not worth living. Socrates. Our life is frittered away by detail. Simplify, simplify. Henry David Thoreau. Life must be lived and curiosity kept alive. One must never, for whatever reason, turn his back on life. Eleanor Roosevelt. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience, this is the ideal life. Mark Twain. The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams. Oprah Winfrey. Success isn't about how your life looks to others. It's about how it feels to you. Michelle Obama. Life is short, and it is up to you to make it sweet. Sarah Louise Delaney. Only I can change my life. No one can do it for me. Carol Burnett. I'm always doing things I can't do. That's how I get to do them. Pablo Picasso. To do the useful thing, to say the courageous thing, to contemplate the beautiful thing, that is enough for one man's life. T.S. Eliot. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the water to create many ripples. Mother Teresa. Challenges, failures, defeats and ultimately, progress, are what make your life worthwhile. Maxine Luggage. Be willing to sacrifice what you think you have today for the life that you want tomorrow. Neil Strauss. The only impossible journey is the one you never begin. Tony Robbins. The more silence you have in your life, the louder your work can be. Maxine Luggage. If my life is going to mean anything, I have to live it myself. Rick Riordan. The greatest discovery of any generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitude. William James. If you say you can or you can't, you are right either way. Henry Ford. The only way out is through. Robert Frost. The ego wants comfort and certainty. The soul wants to live fully. Maxine Luggage. Stop seeking today. You have all it takes to live a good life. You have your mind. Maxine Luggage. Slow down and savor your life. Heyman Suni. Life has been given to you to create, and to rejoice, and to celebrate. Osho. Life does not have to be perfect to be wonderful. Annette Funicello. Get busy living or get busy dying. Stephen King. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Nelson Mandela. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Walt Disney. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Steve Jobs. If life were predictable, it would cease to be life and be without flavor. Eleanor Roosevelt. If you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough. Oprah Winfrey. If you set your goals ridiculously high and it's a failure, you will fail above everyone else's success. James Cameron. Life is what happens when you are busy making other plans. John Lennon. Spread love everywhere you go. Let no one ever come to you without leaving happier. Mother Teresa. When you reach the end of your rope, tie a knot in it and hang on. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Always remember that you are absolutely unique, just like everyone else. Margaret Mead. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap but by the seeds that you plant. Robert Louis Stevenson. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Eleanor Roosevelt. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn. Benjamin Franklin. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched, they must be felt with the heart. Helen Keller. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. Aristotle. Whoever is happy will make others happy too. Anne Frank. Do not go where the path may lead, go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Ralph Waldo Emerson. You will face many defeats in life, but never let yourself be defeated. Maya Angelou. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Nelson Mandela. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. Abraham Lincoln. Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. Babe Ruth. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Helen Keller. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Thomas A. Edison. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. Dr. C.S. If life were predictable, it would cease to be life and be without flavor. Eleanor Roosevelt. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. Abraham Lincoln. Keep smiling, because life is a beautiful thing and there is so much to smile about. Marilyn Monroe. Life is a long lesson in humility. James M. Barrie. In 3 words I can sum up everything I have learned about life, it goes on. Robert Frost. Love the life you live. Live the life you love. Bob Marley. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Helen Keller. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. Dr. C.S. Life is made of ever so many partings welded together. Charles Dickens. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Steve Jobs. Life is trying things to see if they work. Ray Bradbury. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Thomas A. Edison. Success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. Winston S. Churchill. Success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it. Henry David Thoreau. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Walt Disney. To be even-minded is the greatest virtue. Just keep in mind, the more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. The tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say or think or do, only what you have been. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. It does not matter what you bear, but how are you buried at. Gym cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. To be calm is the highest achievement of self. He has the most who is content with the least. Self-control is strength. Rightful is mastery. Calmness is power. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. Stoked. Just do the right thing. Just keep going. Ultimate power in life is to be completely self-reliant, completely yourself. To be stoic is not to be emotionless, but you remain unaffected by your emotions. Learn to be indifferent to what makes no difference. Tibet. Trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength, and burden. The willing are led by faith, the reluctant drag to. Many people believe that everything must be pleasurable in life. A rational person can find peace by cultivating indifference to things outside of their control. If you are easily provoked, you are easily controlled. Be an island of calm in the sea of craziness. Be a master of the mind, not mastered by the mind. Failure and deprivation of the best educators and purifiers. Between stimulus and response there is space. In that space is our power to choose our response. The mind that is anxious about future events is miserably to make a goal of comfort or happiness has never appealed to me. A system of ethics built from this basis would be sufficient only for a herd of capital. If you make happiness your goal, you'll be disappointed. If you make presence your goal, you'll be satisfied. If it's injurable, then injury. Stop complaining that one wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backwards, not in all eternity, not merely bear what is necessary, still less concealed, but love it. That's what Stoicism is all about. Learning to live a good life by developing peace of mind through confidence of one's ability to overcome adversity. First rule is to keep an uncroubled spirit. The second is to look things in the face and know them for what they are. A wise man is neither raised up by prosperity nor cast down by adversity, for always he has striven to rely predominantly on himself and to derive all joy from himself. The great law of nature is that it never stops. There is no end. Don't explain your philosophy and what is it? Love to go and see all the things I am happy without steal something from the thief. Stoicism is about the domestication of emotions, not very elimination. Aesthetic is someone who transforms fear into prudence, pain into transformation, mistakes into initiation, and desire into undertaking. Stoicism teaches how to keep a calm and rational mind no matter what happens to you, and it helps you understand and focus on what you can control and not worry about and accept what you can't control. Still, a system understood properly is a cure for a disease. The disease in question is the anxiety, grief, fear, and various other negative emotions that plague humans and prevent them from experiencing a joyful existence. Sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. The true hero is one who conquers his own anger and hatred. Ought to being wise is the art of knowing what to overlook. Well consists not in having great possessions but in having you want. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not but rejoices for those which he has. What you're supposed to do when you don't like a thing is changing. If you can't change it, change the way you think about it. Incomplete. You have power over your mind, not outside of ends. Realize this, and you will find strength. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. To choose One's own way. Many men will meet me who are drunkards, lost for ungrateful, greedy, and excited by the frenzy of ambition. Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest beer with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, is this the condition that I have been? It is not the man who has too little but the man who craves more that his poor life is a shipwreck. But we must not forget to sing in the lifeboats. What we fear doing most is usually what we most need to do. The things you own end up owning you. Is there such a thing as a cheerful pessimist? That's what I am. It is not daily increase, but daily decrease. Hack away the unessential. The closer to the source, the less wastage there is. The reason why you have two is and only one mouth is so we might listen more and talk less. I begin to speak only when I'm certain what I will say isn't better left unsaid. If you are irritated by every rock, how will your mirror be honest? Nothing in jewels but change. Why should we pay so much attention to what the majority thinks?